Hello, welcome to part three of Coming Out. I'm the poly tipster. I'm in a poly family where I have a husband and a partner and two stepkids. Be sure and go back and listen to part two. It makes the most sense. It's a continuation from part two. And there are also an additional three parts to the series, so be on the lookout for those as well. So, okay, why would you not tell people? Why would you stay in the closet? Um, you I've kind of already talked about this already, but you have to weigh the cost benefit. Why tell people? Why tell people about your personal life? Why tell people you even have a husband? What sort of social capital are you getting out of that? So to stay in the closet, if you're going to lose something, I guess that's the biggest thing, the biggest reason why you wouldn't tell. You're going to lose a job, you're going to lose status at work, you're going to lose your kids. Um, all of those are good reasons to stay in the closet, I think. And you just have to weigh how much is this going to affect me? How much is this going to be worth it to tell people? And is it really worth it? Is it really worth the cost of it? If I am going to potentially lose this thing to go around and tell people that I'm polyamorous. And in our case, I mean, there are times I really wish we hadn't have told the ex-wife. But I mean, it did work out in some ways for us that we did tell her. We didn't know that at the time. At the time, I was highly concerned that there could be a child custody battle looming in the future if we were to reveal this information. And I'll tell you, I mean, it's been like 4.5 years. And over those 4.5 years, we have gone through hell and back with the ex-wife. She has, she's got some other issues and they involve lots of yelling and screaming and smear campaigns and things of that nature. So that's put our family through quite a bit of stress. And it's been a learning experience. But I can tell you that, once you kind of make the decision to tell somebody and that you have to, like in our case, my partner felt like he had to tell her. He just felt like she's the mother of these kids. He owes her that respect and that courtesy for her to be aware, to know who his partner is. And in any vanilla relationship, you very likely would tell your ex that you have a partner, and you might even introduce them. I know I'm on several community boards with stepmoms, and there are plenty um, of people who actually don't even tell the ex-wife or the ex-husband that they are in a relationship for a long time, because there's it's fraught with problems. Some of these issues with very angry exes when children are involved, they really don't have anything to do with the fact that you're in whatever a polyamorous setup. I mean, that's what's gonna get blamed. But these people, I mean, just this is just my experience being out there on the internet and on some of these different support forums. These people are going to act out and misbehave if they're going to act out and misbehave, and they're going to do it whether you're with a man or a woman or two men or two women. They're going to do it no matter what. So this is the thing. You tell them if you feel like you have to tell them and don't have a choice, and then be prepared to accept some of the consequences that go along with telling them. So if you do have someone like that in your life, an ex-wife or an ex-husband, and you have to tell them, and you did all the right things, you took it slow, and you made sure that you vetted your new partner, and this is for you, and you're in it forever. And by all means tell them, be ready for the consequences. There's some things you can do to mitigate some of the bad stuff, and I can get into that a little bit later. Okay, I put this up here because I love you and you and you. End of monogamy. This is a kind of a documentary movie that I saw many years ago. This documentary movie, uh, it actually has several examples in it of people who come out to their family and their friends. And I think it's pretty. I mean, it's specific to polyamory. You can also watch or read um, people who have been, in the movement for gay marriage, to get gay marriage promoted, some of their experiences. And there's lots of different uh, books and documentaries and stuff like that out there. But this one's specific to polyamory. So I would do a little research and watch this film. There's also a book out there, especially if you're somebody who is polyamory with family with children, and it's written by Dr. Elizabeth Sheth. She's great. I'll probably talk about her quite a bit because she's one of the scholarly experts on doing polyamory, and she seems to know how to give advice about how to do polyamory correctly with children. And she serves as an expert when needed for cases where children are involved with the court system in the United States. So she's also a good resource. But this I thought this was pretty good, and there were some good examples of how people conducted themselves, and they sort of captured it on film as to how they went about the process of coming out and some of the reactions that they got. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about as to why you might think about just staying in the closet is this goes back to a personal story. I had a friend a couple years ago. He he was transgendered. Well, wanting to be transgendered, and he came from a deeply religious family. And the cognitive dissonance, which is what I kind of chalk all this up to, was so profound in his case. He didn't know how to tell his family, didn't know how to come out. So what he decided to do was to go out on Facebook, tell the world his name, her name, and then 5 minutes after he did that, he went and took his own life. Really, I think I would rather you stay in the closet if it's a life and death situation for you. If there's no other way for you to stay alive, I mean, I'd rather you be in a little bit of pain and alive rather than dead and out. And I know that's controversial. I know people would disagree with me, but I think that times are changing, people's attitudes are changing, and the way you feel in the moment right now, the despair, the hopelessness, you don't know that that feeling is going to persist over the next couple of years. There have been shifts in attitudes that are dramatic over the last decade, and I think we're in for more of those kinds of attitude changes. So I would rather you wait it out, live with the pain, do what you have to do to get through it, find a small community, find some loving, kind friends who will support you. If that's what it's going to take to keep you alive, stay in the closet. That's my advice. It was just, if our friend only knew how much pain her friendship circle went through after she took her life, I don't know that she would have done it. I mean, we were devastated, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth, if you feel like you're going to make this big bold statement and live your truth, but you're going to do it in a way that doesn't leave you on the planet. What good is that? So that's, yeah, for what that's worth. Stay in the closet if that's the only way you can resolve your cognitive dissonance with being able to just live your truth. If you just can't do it and live on this planet at the same time, then stay in the closet. So that's kind of it for this slide. Um, Thanks for listening, and go check out. Uh, there's more on this topic. There's a couple more slides on this topic. So go check out my other videos on this.